Do.
Late night matches, fire in the air. Frag grenades, flying chaos everywhere. Dodcast with the recaps here. Who's the champ this week? It's all unclear. Gold division tighter than a noose. Every round a gamble, no room for truce. Dodcast, the spotlight shines fast. Chase kills the kings, but the race won't last. Dodcast, legends in the broadcast. Knock out the goat, no one else can amass. Mouse wheel bound to crouch, can we agree? Skill achieves, what's the referee's decree? MG nests and the rockets blast. Tactics on fire, the moments flash fast. Victory close, but who'll take the crown? Gold is a jungle, no one's backing down. Dodcast, the spotlight shines best. Kiss kills the kings, but the race won't last. Dodcast, legends in the broadcast. Knock out the goat, no one else can amass.
It's Corey, Jag, and Marco, and it's another episode of the Dodcast.
Yo, what is up, everybody? It is the Jaginator, Corey Marco, back again with the Dodcast. It is Season 9, Episode 9. A little bit different in this case because we technically have a week off. I did just check, and there's one match getting played this week, but it's a makeup match. So it's not something that we need to predict today to make sure it gets done before the match or anything like that. So what we're going to do today is just recap what happened on Lennon, right? That was last week, Lennon? I think so. Recap Lennon and call it a day. We're also going to watch another newly released movie, which is the Candyman movie. I did just see this clip, which I think is great, too. What the fuck? That is incredible. You know, I've tried to have special code words with people, but I never get to actually see it through, and that was it being seen through to its maximum potential right there. Boom. What do we got here? ATP now. Okay, I die very little. I know that. We got going on over here. I ain't making it on no all-star teams, that's for sure. I can make it on the heavy who dies least team. That's still 20 deaths per half, to be fair. That's actually dying a pretty decent amount. I ain't having many games where I'm getting less than 20 deaths. Okay, so it's not really class-based in that case. Yeah, okay. Never mind. I just wanted to check that out. But yes, the other one that we need to do is watch the Sam movie by Kevin, who is just a movie-making machine. Okay. I should probably... Once again, thank you, Casey, for these borders. AC intro screen. Oh, that's this one. I just didn't know what I was looking at there. Happy birthday to him as well. He made these, and then it was like his birthday the next day. I said it on the stream at the time, but it was his birthday this past week, and then it was Nine's birthday yesterday. So, and then I think it's Ron's birthday coming up on the 18th. I think that might be the next time we got a DoD birthday. All right, so let me get rid of this because obviously we don't want that covering up some of the movie. That over there. And yeah, that'll be fine. I'll put this like here. And yes. We'll do this, then we will recap. And then that'll be it. A nice short one. Nice short one today. We'll do predictions next week for Saints. My computer is clearly taking a shit on my face. Okay, hold on. This starts just like the Tap movie. It throws me off every time I see it. Like, that just looks like the Tap movie. The fuck did I just pull out? Jesus Christ. My gamma turned up. Hold on. Here's a little secret for everybody, just so you know. A lot of times when you're watching a DoD movie, your gamma will be reflected in the movie. So if a movie looks too bright, there's a decent chance that it's actually your gamma that's making it look that bright. It's not guaranteed. Oh yeah, Big Alaska. I was curious before I watched this first time how many clips we were going to have from that draft. It's the greatest draft in history. The post-draft captain's vote said that we were the worst team in the draft, and we won. And Sam was a huge part of that. And I will recognize those clips as soon as they start every time. Oh man, this is... I think this is the first draft I was back for. This is a Big Alaska clip right here. This is a huge clip. This was the semis. He's got two on Anzio that were very big in the semis. This is one of them. Oof. Oh, this is Big Alaska too. It's one of the games we lost. Later. Oh, this is a Big Alaska clip for sure. Woo. Now he deserves credit for an extra kill here. Right there. That's a Sam kill right there. I don't care what the game says. That's another massive clip that got us a cap out, and we won by like a cap, I think, or a cap and a half or something. Poor Andrew. Oh. Andrew again. Andrew's getting abused in this movie. And Nicholson in this clip. Andrew and Nicholson. Yeah, this... Kills two guys, switches sides, kills the same two guys, switches sides. I love it. This is trained player things right here. Gets one, the other two ain't coming this way anymore. Now they gotta come help the guy who came to help him, and now he just killed them both again.
Candyman already
Poor Andrew.
3 in this life, and now he's got lower church control. Strong position, looking to add some more. Holding the corner, pops the head of Big Bird. Here's another one as well. Candyman gonna get a second. Oh, Sniper takes a shot. He pulls out the pistol. Sam with another. Looking to pick up that sniper. Picking up the sniper, but it doesn't come. There's another guy here, and he just pulls out the pistol.
Poor
and
Andrew, man.
headshots Gull around the corner. Now he's got to head back and try to find any weapon. He just gets his own stops back. Keeps the angle. There's a million bodies there. He gets one more.
Oh, that's great, man. Oh, shit. What season is this? Season 5, I think? Children's Guild. This was the Bandit season. Wait, that wasn't a kill? What is this game? Oh, yeah, this is Big Alaska, too. This was the finals. You can see we were in a sketchy situation at this point. Sam don't give a fuck. Nothing sketchy for Sam. We were just the team of destiny that tournament. Ooh. Oh. Oh yeah, get him. Ha! It's Darren too. Poor Darren. Is Big Alaska too? Nah. We did play Hallie in that tournament, which I was very tilted about. This might be. Nah, that was T3. Oh. Oh. Poor Brandon, just trying to slink away to go help Street. Oh. Ooh. Insomnia season. Oh yeah, the game he rang for no-go and went train car. Poor Yanni. Headshot. That's crazy how that shot hits. Falling down the stairs. I love it. Oh, I thought there was going to be another one on Darren. Oh, this is, yeah. This is Big Alaska. T3. Oh, this is another draft. Oh yeah, this poor sniper over there. He's minding his own business trying to help his team, and Sam's gonna fucking terminate him. Poor Nightmare. This is a great clip too. Boop. Oh boy. It's nice to see clips on this. I feel like there's been so few ever that have been in a movie. Oh. 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 Got them all, too. Oh, yeah, this is against us. This is the loss right here. This is when we were held down in our one for literally like 8 minutes. We would have been better off getting capped on the first minute of it. They got like 3 caps worth of points just holding us there. Ooh. I like it. I like the swap back there. Don't force yourself into a sniper battle with a sniper. Fuck 'em. Pick that Stas up and go to town. Ooh. Later, Nando. He hit him, right? Okay, yeah. Oh. Ooh. Dink. Another guy dropping out. 4 heavies trying to help out their well team, and Sam just picking him out of the sky with the first bullet. That shot to finish the clip is gross.
Thunder is being pressured all the way to their one.
It's also the
They're
loss.
sneaking out on bridge right now. You have Sam noticing. Sam knows he's got to try to break this. He's got to try to break this. If he can jump on there, oh my gosh, they're both prone, so they're not going to see him. Sam's making the jump. Sam's going for the body break. This is going to stop it. Oh, he stops it. Sam stops it. He gets taken out right away. Oh, Clinic takes it. Mr. Clinic himself.
Look at that.
just clutched that round.
DOD,
And I
baby.
believe that's going to give them enough
DOD.
points to take them heavy into beating Thunder on Anzio.
It was. That was when the cap finally happened.
Thank you very much, lady.
Yeah. I got a shout out. Yay. I don't often get shout outs. I like when I get shout outs. It's not much, but you know, it's always fun to see your name. So there you go. There's the Candyman movie. Again, fucking love that movie. Right. Who knows when the next one will come out? Kevin is just seemingly making 155 movies at a time. I think the next one will be the Dice, not Land movie, but Season 8 movie. Chris is doing the Dice Land movie. Okay. So, recap. We're going to recap. That's really all there is to do is recap. Where are we here? Okay. So it was a big week. There's a lot to talk about in this week. Where did we get back to? That's the previous one, right? 22nd, 26th. Okay, yeah. This is where it starts. Where are... So, first game, this one I didn't cast. Mainly because I had multiple players from each team. Like, it was like 3 players across the 2 teams telling me, I should probably remove this so that everyone can see what I'm actually talking about and looking at. Telling me not to cast it. So I was like, alright. So this was 9-5 versus the Weak Kids. We got 631 to 169 here. As you can see, we had a Gucho. I guess you can't really see that, but I'm pretty sure this is a Gucho Ting Tong. Right? Actually. Okay, that's Nacho. Cam has 177 ping. What? 200 ping. I don't know what's going on with Rook's internet, but it was not good for that match. All right, so Axis side. 495, 294 to 103. That's 191 point win on that side, plus 15 in the kills. For the Weak Kids, you got 24 for Bullet, 22 for Barinia, 21 for Jiraiya, 20 for Suko, 17 for Jiraiya Jr., 13 for Leto. And on 9-5, you got 28 for what I believe is a Gucho. Pretty sure. 99% sure. On the Stas, no less. 27 for both Soya and for Tony. 22 for Nacho. 19 for Cam. 9 for Grunt. And then second half, it ends up, okay, so that's 294. You're looking at like 337 to 66. So Allied side, they had a very convincing half. They had plus 50. Okay, Jiraiya was lagged out. Looks like he had about 20 to 20, give or take a few there. So it was like plus almost 40 in the kills still. Not 54, but still a very, very big spread there. JJ had 26, 23 for Sukos, Bullet with 20, Barinia 19, Leto with 13, and like I said, Jiraiya looks like he had around 20. And then Tony with 37. Tony was the one guy who was telling me I should cast it, and now I see why. He top fragged. I gotta put that score into the ticker as well. Hold on. So Tony had 64, and nobody else broke 60 overall. 28 for Agucho again, 28 for Nacho, 27 for Soya, 22 for Grunt, 15 for Cam, 9 to 5, continue their winning ways, getting ready to I think have one more tussle potentially with Best Buds to finish out the season. So 631, 169. Let me put that in here. I'm a completionist, 631 to 169. Five, 631, 9. With 64 kills. Okay. Nice. Now the ticker can continue to go. Yeah. Nice. All right. But yeah, I didn't get to cast that game, so I didn't really get to see any of what happened. You never know. Maybe next time I'm streaming, if I run out of things to do, that'll be the next thing I do. Next up, we got Best Buds versus Uncle Rico's Time Machine. Best Buds just fucking insane in this game. Looked like they were not missing at all. 854 to 232. I did get to cast this game. So Bromley was, I think, the big story in this one. Adam had 86 kills? Yes, 86 kills. As I thought he might do, he was lighting well. Unter Tommy at well, and just, oh man, being a menace. Just a menace. So first half, Allied side, 370 to 59, plus 46 were the kills in favor of Best Buds. On Uncle Rico's side, Kevin had 31. Nick, as in had like a hole, and Zamp had 23. Craig had 22. E-Man had 20. And G with 16. And then for Best Buds, 44 and 18 for Adam with the Tommy gun is disgusting. Illegal. Piff, again, with a 34 kill half there. Laura with a big half going long at 33. Monty with 27. Hopper with 24. And the Big Bird with 19. And then second half, let's see, that is 484. No, yeah, 484 to 173. 44 to 173. So another big half for Best Buds there. We are missing, had like a hole on the end round screenshot. But E-Man with 29. Craig with 25, G with 23, Zamp with 21, Kevin with 20, Nick was right around 20 as well, I believe. Yeah, like 25-ish. And then for Best Buds, again, Adam, 42 and 23 on the Unter is unreal. Really disgusting. Really disgusting stuff to get 86 kills lighting well. And then Piff and Monty with 35 apiece. Hopper with 25, 19 for Big Bird, 18 for Laura. I mean, Best Buds was just everywhere, I mean, just it was a dominant performance. That's what Best Buds is doing this season. I think they might have one close game. Is that correct? Let me check. Ron's schedule, Best Buds, so the Rail Yard game is technically close, but for Rail Yard, that's like you know, it's not as close as that would be if you saw it on another map. Plays for fun on Anzio, that's actually pretty close too. Then the one I was thinking of was the 9-5 game. 300 points there. 340 there, and obviously like 600 there. The point differential's got to be off the charts. Yeah, I mean, the highest point differential in all of KTP by a sizable amount at 2,370. Woo-hoo-hoo, baby. But yeah, the MVP of that one was definitely Adam. I can't remember all the MVPs off the top of my head, so you will see it if you look at the bottom line as it scrolls up. Keep an eye on it if you're curious down there. But I know who it was in that one. It was definitely Adam. I promise you that. 86 kills, and I don't think anyone else breaks 60? Piff did. Monty, I think, did. Yeah. Piff had 69, right? Nice. Monty had 62. And I think that was it. Yeah. Yeah, it was a sizable top fragging there. A sizable one. And then this was the bronze game of the week when all was said and done. Bots taking down Plays for Fun. 337 to 281, a 56-point win, so under a cap out. This was definitely one of the big matches of the week as far as like how good and competitive the match was. This was a really, really good one. Came right down to the wire. So, first half, Axis side here for Bots. They do win by 9 points, plus 7 on the frags. Big story of this game, I think, overall. I mean, there was, first of all, Agucho was outstanding. But the heavies, like this heavy team, I think, for Bots is going to be a big difference maker for them, just period. Bringing in Bestia to pair him up with Pocho, those are two really good heavies. And, I mean, we saw it in this game. What that can do, having a strong heavy team is like, you know, it's the best way to give yourself the top chance of winning all the time. So, Pocho had 31, Bestia had 30, and then 25 for GZ. GZ was great as well, as he's been all season. You know, I think, again, a kind of a breakout player of the season here. 28 for Proxy. Proxy's been rock solid as well. 25 for Agucho. Huge day for him in general here. He had obviously, we saw a nice game for 9-5, and he had a great game here. Serio was 16. And then on the Plays for Fun side, Evans with 31, Anna with 30, Pijisku with 28, Manga with 25, Lucky and Joey with 17. You know, Anna was all over the place. She was getting a million kills, and the heavies were doing outstandingly. For Plays for Fun, it was just Bots. They seemed to, when the going got tough, always come up with the clutch on the last flag when they needed it. On this half, like Pocho was very willing to prone in the planter, the insight spot, the bullet spot, whatever nomenclature you're using for that. They escaped the Axis side with a 9-point lead, and then Allied side, it just gets wild. Lots of back and forth here in this half. You can see that they actually had a sizable lead in the frags. But overall, they end up with only a 56-point win because Plays for Fun is no fucking joke. Joey was outstanding in the second half. Like, he almost single-handedly won them that game in the back half of the second half. He's just getting a million kills. He clutched up on the last flag to prevent a cap out. So obviously, if they would have capped out in the end and won by that small amount, that play would have been huge. He got 4 car kills, but he almost got 4 car kills with 2 bullets. Like, he got a double, and then he shot another bullet, and 2 guys were lined up, unquestionably lined up. It's just only one of them died, and then he ended up killing another one with a 3rd bullet. So he got 4 car kills and 3 bullets. But he was great. But for Bots, again here, 37 for Bestia, 33 for Pocho, 33 for Agucho, 31 for GZ, 27 for Proxy, and 20 for Serio. I think I probably have... There's definitely clips from some of these matches that I can pull up This is something that I always am like, I should really find a way to do this, like, conveniently, but there's no really convenient way to do it. But I can pull it out. This one? Can I not make it full screen? Gotta be a way to make it full screen. There it is. The fuck? This is Agucho. After getting 4 fast kills, I'll show you the full clip of it too. This was just, I mean, this looks like he should cap that flag. I mean, look at his body. The flag is sticking through his fucking ball sack.
That's insane. I feel like he kind of deserved to get the flag.
Yeah, he sure as shoot did.
Got it.
Like, oof. But then to show you how we got there. What?
He gets the nade kill, but now they know exactly where he is. Agucho for 2. Agucho, can he find another? He sure as shit can. Agucho gets 4. He's...
I thought for sure that play was going to end up being
okay.
like that plays for fun was going to end up winning because that cap didn't happen. I was so sure of it. Oh my god, Rafa is playing Quake Champions right now.
They're still fighting.
Not like this. So yeah, lots of fucking crazy moments in that one. But Agucho was massive on well, and then obviously the heavy teams were fucking just bopping heads left and right. 4 plays for fun, 29 and 24 for Joey. I think, yeah, he's the only one who ended up positive. Lucky was even. Anna had 27, Manga with 26, Evans with 22, Lucky with 21, Pijisku with 19, and Bots with a massive win. That is a massive win here. That pushes them up to 2 wins, which gets them in place with Uncle Rico's time machine. This is the kind of stuff that will make a difference come playoff time with who you're playing. And who do they get to play for the last one? There's no makeup games. They have Uncle Rico's time machine. So the winner of that one, basically what we're looking at is the loser of that game is going to play 9-5. And the winner of that game is going to get plays for fun. And obviously we just saw Bots beat plays for fun. So I would think they would feel better with that matchup than the 9-5 one. They did play 9-5 twice, yeah. So they lost by about 260 on Rail Yard, and they lost by 120-ish on Thunder. So, like, not blowout wins, but 9-5 definitely, beat them by enough that if you can play a team that you beat, you're going to want that. That's going to be preferable. That's a big one on the bronze side. There's actually, like, all the games here are kind of important. 9-5 Best Buds, obviously, If Best Buds can beat 9-5 by more than they lost by in the first game, which is 44. So 9-5 could steal. They could steal the 1 seed with a win by 44, well, more than 44 points. I'm pretty sure if they win by exactly 44, here's the thing, right? It's not very clear, the tiebreaker situation, because in some seasons, the tiebreaker was based on point differential in the head-to-head. So it says head-to-head point differential, but it seems like it's supposed to be head-to-head and then head-to-head point differential and then overall point differential, from what I can tell. So I think, again, it doesn't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure what it's supposed to be is if 9 to 5 wins by 45 or more points, they get the 1 seed. If it's 44 points, then their head-to-head point differential is tied, and so it would move to overall point differential with, I'm pretty sure Best Buds has, yeah, by a lot. Like, if 9 to 5 made up that point differential in this game, we wouldn't need to even talk about it, because they would have won the game by 500 points. So yeah, that's a big one as well. The Bronze Division, there's a lot to be decided still. Plays for Fun is against the Weak Kids. There's not much to really happen there. I think Plays for Fun is locked in at the 3 seed. Bots and Uncle Rico's playing each other will decide who gets the 4 seed. Wait, one. Oh, wait, this is a bye situation. Oh. Never mind. Take back everything I said. Everything I said. So these 2 teams are going to get a bye. And then 9 to 5 and Best Buds game will decide the 1 seed, but both teams are getting a bye. Plays for Fun is locked in at the 3 seed. They will be playing against the Weak Kids, which they are also doing in the final week of the season. And then Bots versus Uncle Rico's Time Machine, they play each other in the last week of the season, and then they will be playing each other in the first round of playoffs. So there's like these teams right here are all playing each other just nonstop for the next few weeks. I fucked up all around it. That's me. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of the fact that it was a 6 team bracket there. So there's still movement. Like, you know, if your Best Buds at 9 to 5, you want the 1 seed. Like, you prefer the 1 seed for sure. So you get to play like the bottom seed when you get into the games. I mean, or not. Maybe you have a preferred matchup here and like you kind of don't care either way. But as far as these other teams go, there's not really a whole lot to be decided. There's just not. It's really just these 2 teams are playing each other multiple matches in a row. And these 2 teams are playing each other multiple matches in a row. Even whichever team wins this one, I mean, I guess maybe then they get the home seed. Maybe that makes a difference. We'll see. But anyways, that does it for Bronze. That was a really fun game. The Bots versus Plays for Fun game. Definitely go watch that if you haven't. There was, I think like 3 really fun games to watch. Like really fun games to watch. Crazy ones. There was still another couple games that were fun to watch just in general. But though that was one of the ones where it was like, oh my God, this thing is coming down to the wire. There is another game that is coming down to the wire personified that we'll get to. Something that I've never seen happen in a match. And I would feel very okay saying that it will never happen again in a match as well. Because I can say fairly confidently, at least in games like in the top, league and division and everything like that, this hasn't happened. So that's going to actually be the first thing we're going to talk about here going into Silver, which is Manners Minders versus Emo Frag Squad. Emo Frag Squad always finds a way to test the limits of what is possible in DoD. We had a few weeks of their HLTV demos not working, which was a problem that 9 had to figure out. Now they gave 9 another thing to figure out. So let's start with the first half. Emo Frag Squad. They had Scorch playing because they couldn't get 6, which was, I talked about in the Dodcast. I was pretty sure that they weren't going to be able to get 6. It was very up in the air. And thankfully for Emo, Dan was available to step in there. So it was Ace, because he can play afternoon games. Ace is basically a Euro right now. So if it's the afternoon, he's available. If it's nighttime, he's not. For Manners Minders here. Anyways, 140 to 93. So a plus 47 win on the Allied side for Emo Frag Squad. Plus 5 in the kills. For Manners Minders, it was a very even frag distribution. King Yo, 28 and 23. 26 for Manor, 26 for Pizza Hut, 24 and 16 for Toki, 23 for Wua, and 21 for Yanni, 21 and 20. So really just, like, they end up with very similar frag totals as teams, but when you look at the top fragger is 28, the bottom fragger is 21. You look at Emo Frag Squad, you have 45 for J-Rod, and honestly, he was on pace for like 80 kills at one point. He slowed down in the back half of the half because Emo Frag Squad needed to make up some points. Like, they needed to get as many points as they could get in the last 5 minutes of this game because of this half, because they had all these kills and everything and not really much of a lead to speak of. But yeah, 45 and 21. If they had been able to cap out earlier in the half, I think we would have seen J-Rod break 60 this half. But he's smart, and he started holding well because everyone else was just kind of dying way too much. But that's one of the crazier halves that we've seen in KTP individually. Just seemingly every life, J-Rod was getting like 4 kills. Then Ryan had 31, Matt with 23, Ace with 22. So class-wise, this was kind of a weird one as well. J-Rod, I'm not sure who was actually going well with him. Because at one point, I thought it was Ace, and that Saf was going long. But then at another point, Saf was going well, and then both people were going well. Even, like, it didn't seem like it was dependent on situation. I'm not sure if it was just they were calling it on the fly, or if there was a miscommunication of who was going where, if they were trying to you know, just play off of, like, what was needed and when. I honestly couldn't tell. But, I mean, J-Rod was doing just fine, seemingly going well mostly by himself. So I think they were able to kind of like move resources around based on the situation. But yeah, Ace was on a Garand / Tommy / Carbine in this half. Saf was on a Garand. And yeah, just kind of moving around the map. Now this is where things are going. Let me just pull it up. Let me just pull it up. What's this?
Minders off to a good start now. Off to a little bit of a slow start for the first couple minutes, but now in the last
That's actually hilarious.
double caps.
Okay, so
Minders. Oh god, I can only imagine what he did.
what the fuck? No, stop playing. Watch full video. Okay.
And I'm so curious to see. It's one of those things that I'm always happy when I say.
Let me take you to the end.
I want to see how this all came to pass.
How did this all
At
come to
this
pass?
point, is this when J-Rod? Okay, that's the 2 nade kills for Ryan. Okay, so Manor just let him go. There was just nobody there. Just on the run, and you can see they were capping long in that moment too. Oh my.
So there is, I mean, just like a full-on, they run out of blue room. Multiple guys had run through blue room. Manor gets a cap out right there.
God, it was his
That gives them
hit, and
a
now Emo
50-point
Frag Squad down by
lead.
50.
So
2.5
let me just
to
play this
go.
out for you. I'm just going to I'm going to save you guys the trouble of potentially going and watching this whole thing. I'm going to put my stupid face up here, I guess. That should be fine. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
What a fucking crazy turn of events. First kill goes to Wua.
So that gave a 50-point lead. Ryan Carbard here. So J-Rod and Ryan were going well.
29 for Kingyo and 26 for Manor and 25 for Yanni. Wua catches Ryan as well. Long gonna go the way of Manor's Minders, and they might have well too. No, Modgers clutches up there. Pizza Hut gonna have to try to push. He's got a second one. Pizza Hut looking to work his way out. There is a guy underpass. He heard a jump. They've got to be careful. Pizza Hut gets a third. They are on respawn. Oh, he pushes it. Oh, they could have got it.
That
for
was
sure.
problematic.
Oh, no, that's very unfortunate for Manor's Minders.
They definitely had well there if they had stuck
nice
it.
Find. They still might get it. Scorch is going to have to swing back out to underpass. A minute and a half to go. Matt, though, does get...
And they
Wua.
don't even end up getting it. So that alone actually could have made things very different.
Oh, what a shot by Kingyo. Jesus. Modgers snuck himself. Well, not really snuck. Oh, I feel for Manor right there. That's pain. Pizza. Nice find. He gets the headshot through the wall. Ryan doubles
That's
up
so
in
many
the
dead with a
trade.
minute left.
Where did that come from? Ryan's going to push up Khan as him and Ace just took out 2/3. They've got long. Oh, no, they respond. A TK, swing and a miss. And now, Emo Frag Squad will have 45 seconds
Have a look.
to try to work a full cap. Manners Minders are on respawn, and they've got 3 kills. Sapphire doubles up 2 1-stosses, and Scorch adds 1 more. Sapphire all the way up to the top of swing. 30 seconds left. Ryan is pushing 40, as is J-Rod. Here's the spawn wave. Modgers and Scorch both go down. Yanni is up in lower tree. Nothing there. Ryan getting to swing, and this is the push here. Ryan gonna come with nade support. Ace is in connector. Who gets to make the push? J-Rod finds 1. Trade by Wu. Trade back by Kingyo. Ace gets the guy on the flag. Ace gets 2. Pizza Hut with a TK. He's all alone.
So as you can see, they capped out. The game registered the cap out. The game registered the flag extra point as well. It gave them the 1 point for it. But the nature of DOD is that because it all works in, milliseconds, the points for the full cap don't go through. So even though they get the cap out, we all see there that they get the cap out. The points don't go on the scoreboard.
What?
And so it's like just a nightmare.
I mean, it appears...
I'll
like
show
that's
you the
why
slow
Ryan
motion
had to win
replay
the
here as
game.
well, I think.
Because this game is like, 22. That's obviously the game being really fucking old. And not having, like, the design behind whatever dev portion of this game that can count the sub-tick shit. That is just... Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's just why I have never... I mean, I've seen last-second caps to win.
Down by
But I've never seen a last-second cap
41
to win
at that point.
doesn't count. Where
Dun,
it's like,
dun,
it's
dun, 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 dun,
definitely-
dun, 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 dun,
it's actually
dun, dun,
insane.
dun, dun.
I knew that there was a crazy ending to this game, but I didn't know this was what happened. Holy fuck. So yeah, Emo Frag Squad win by 42 points. This is one for the ages.
So
I don't even
I
know.
say Emo Frag Squad wins, but technically, as far as I can tell, they don't. It's one of those things where like they both win and lose, because as you can see here, what the final screenshot shows, and here's the thing. There's no right answer here, right? And I think both teams recognize that. I think everybody kind of recognizes that. There's no right answer. Like they capped out and that gives them the win, obviously. But the scoreboard also doesn't show a win. And this is pretty much unprecedented. Like, I've seen cap outs as the time expires and the sound goes off and it doesn't count the cap. I've seen that happen in like 12-mans and shit. But even then, it's like, A, it's a 12-man, so the stakes are non-existent. And B, it wasn't like a last-second cap out that won the game by single-digit points, Or in this case, I guess 19 points it would have been or whatever. That would have been it was 308. So it would have been, 17 points would have been the difference in the end. So it's like, there's no precedent for this, and it becomes fully just like, I guess, a judgment call. And there's no wrong answer. The scoreboard shows, and the way that the game engine worked, Manners Minders wins. But obviously, we all also saw that, like, Emo Frag Squad, for sure, did cap out, and that cap out should be worth 60 points and give them the win. So there's no right answer here. Whatever the decision ended up being, I don't think anybody was going to be too mad about it. That's just DOD. That is the most DODing that has ever been DOD'd. And yeah, I don't know if it's something that is even possible to here's what I'll say. I think that this tells you right now that there should be something put in place. Like, right now that makes it ironclad that when this happens, this is what we're doing. Whether it's this, or you say, whatever the scoreboard says at the end of the game, that's the score. Or if you say, DOD is broken, and if the team does pull off that literally last millisecond cap out, they deserve to get the win. You need to decide, I think, and put it in writing right now that's going to be, just in case. Because as I said, I have never seen this, cap out to win last second, blah, 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 in a match before. But we saw nades collide off of each other in this game in the last couple seasons. Something else I'd never seen happen before. So, to me, if I'm KTP admins, which I'm not anymore, unfortunately, if I was, the first thing I'd be saying after this game is we need to go put in writing what the situation is for this instance. So that there's no question about it at the end of the game, because neither team was particularly sure of what the ruling is in this case. From what I can tell, it's Manners Minders is getting the win. The scoreboard is the scoreboard. But I do think that it needs to be stated plain and simple, if this happens again, this is the way it works. Either the scoreboard is the scoreboard, or if that team gets it, it registers, because it literally gives the point for the flag cap. That's the thing. It's Nine explained it. Where is it? Is it this? Oh, yes, here we go. So, touches the Cliff's control point at the exact same second that time limit expired. The control point event is logged, but there's no capture area, which is a full cap, because time expires. So, the scores written at the end of the match is the same as the final scores line, confirming no additional points were awarded after that moment. Yeah. So, it did award the 1 point. The 309. It actually did give them 1 point. He's saying here that it didn't give them 1 point, but it did give them 1 point. Not the 60 points, obviously. So yeah, basically it comes down to the way that the game engine, because it's a 25-year-old game, registers all these events happening where it's in fucking milliseconds and shit, and it just can't do that. The flag touch and time limit check happen in the same server frame or within 1 to 2 milliseconds of each other. DoD scoring logic requires the capture area trigger to fully process, but the time limit expiry freezes the game state before that processing happens. So it logs the player touching it and clearly giving it the 1 point for the flag cap, but the full capture area award didn't have a chance to fire off. And yeah, it's just DOD. It's just DOD. So yeah. Anyways, getting back to that's just crazy. Crazy ending to a pretty fucking insane game here all around. So 351 to 309. King Yo with 32. Yanni with 29. Manor with 27. Pizza with 26. Woo with 20. Toki with 17, and then on the emo side, J-Rod and Ryan with the cars, 38 apiece. J-Rod ends up with 83 kills, I believe. Ryan ends up with 69. Ace had 30. Saf with 24. Matt with 20. Dan with 12. And just an all-timer right there. Finish, especially. The match was really crazy all around, too, leading up to that point, but the finish in particular was fucking nuts. Next up, B Team versus Clan X. This was a really, really fun game as well. 560 to 369. Lots of back and forth. Lots of movie clip stuff. So, to start off, Axis side for B Team, 291 to 186, plus 19 were the kills. Brandon at 41, continuing to go insane this season. Colby getting in the mix this game. Going along with the Unter, gets 31 kills and 16 flag caps. He was just a nuisance on long, making life near impossible for Clan X over there. 26 for Josh, 25 for 28 for Ryan on the STG. He had himself a near miss on an ace. It was very reminiscent of Ryan Emo versus No-Go in Cal I season 17 or whatever, where he kills the 2 guys in well, the 2 guys in apps, and then gets to long, and he had them lined up, capping the flag when he opened double doors, and sprays at them, and does the damage to them, but not quite the kill. It was still a crazy fast 4K. I think people undervalue fast 4Ks. They don't happen that much, you know? Like, fast 4Ks are still the cream of the crop in DoD movie clipping. Fast 3Ks with crazy shots are still just behind them, and if you can pull off a fast 5K or a fast ace, then you're a god, and we just don't see that happen all that much. So, still a peak movie clip for Ryan there. 26 for Josh, 25 for ST Kevin, 16 for Steve. He loves Lennon, don't we all as snipers? And then on Clan X's side, 31 for Bud, 29 for Bitch X, 27 for Nitrox, who we saw him just get robbed. He probably deserved to have like 35 kills, you know, just based on shots where the game was fucking him. 25 for Rafinha, 21 for Storm, 15 for Matt. This half was very, very back and forth, but, you know, really between Brandon on well and Colby on long, the 2 extremities, just those 2 guys were making them very B-team sided throughout this half. You know, Apartments was back and forth. B-team did a really good job of not allowing it to be allied sided in apps. Ryan and Kevin did really good work keeping it as level as humanly possible, and that allowed the extremities to really pay off for B-team there. So they win that half by 105, yeah. And then they win the second half by more than that. So that's what, 259 to... Actually, they didn't win by more than that. It's pretty close. 259 to... 183. So pretty similar differential both halves. Alright, so this half... Once again, Brandon, I'm pretty sure he ends up being the MVP there. He definitely top fragged. I don't know, you can see on the score bug. Colby, again, basically with 30 kills that half. He broke 60. He had 32 flag caps. Kevin also had 31 on the bar. He was just running train all over the place. Him and Ryan both great job in Apartments on the allied side. He had 26. Steve had 22. Josh had 23. And then for Clan X, Bitch X, definitely top fragged. He definitely broke 60 overall. I think he had like 34, but he wasn't there for the end round screenshot. Rafinha with 28, Nitrox with 24, Bud and Storm with 23, and Matt with 22, and B-Team with another big win, just continuing to be, you know, maybe the biggest story in Silver this season, as they're firmly in that 3 seed. And there is a world where they can jump even further here. So they have the tiebreaker on Revo, obviously. So Shift W has 2 games to play. One of them is against Revo. If they were to beat Revo and B-Team were to win their game, then Revo and B-Team would be tied, and B-Team would jump them. Now, Shift W has the tiebreaker, and they can only lose one more time. So at that point, it would be Shift W, B-Team, Revo. And then Soul could also get up there as well. They have numerous games to play still, though. They've gotten kind of fucked by scheduling. So they have the Thunder game against Shift W. So obviously, if they won that game... Okay, so if they won that game, Shift W, that would be the second loss. Yeah, so it still wouldn't matter. Shift W would still, I think, get the 1 seed. But if Soul were to win out, then it gets really fucking crazy, because then they're 6-2. I think they have the tiebreaker on B-Team. Yes. They have the tiebreaker on B-Team, who has the tiebreaker on Revo, who has the tiebreaker on Soul, who has the tiebreaker on... Well, would have the tiebreaker on Shift W in that event, who has the tiebreaker on BT, who has the tiebreaker, you know, it just goes round and round and round. In a world where we all live for the chaos, I would love to see a 4-way tie at the top of this division and see what the admins come up with for this tiebreaker. Because that's one of those circles of tiebreak that are just insane. I can barely even parse it out myself right now. Obviously, though, there's still a lot of games to be played, so, like, that could be immediately out of the question if Seoul were to lose to Shift W in their makeup game. But if Seoul win that game against Shift W, we're on for chaos. We are on for chaos at that point. And I want to see it. All right, next up, I believe, there's just the one more silver game. It's a light week, which is fine. You know, it's nice for me to have a break sometimes. This was a crazy one. So, Shift W coming into this game, the undefeated top seed, going up against Revo, the two big dogs of the division on paper coming into the season. And Revo knock Shift W off for their first loss of the season here. This was a wild game. Even though, like, score-wise, they win by 96 there, it was closer than that. This was just it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So first half is a 22-point win for Revo here on Axis side. Crazy fucking back and forth. Kev was really disappointed to not be named the MVP, and I understood the case he was making, but I think it's always important with the MVP award that it goes to the team that won, right? Because, and it, you know, this is why I said yesterday, like, do I have to just start doing the 3 stars of the game like hockey? Because I didn't think people cared all that much about being named the MVP, but to me, I'm never giving the MVP to the losing team because, like, what does it matter at that point if you lost? It doesn't really. If you win the game, then it's like, okay, you know, this was the guy who put it over the edge. But if you lose the game, there is no guy who put it over the edge. It's just without this guy, they would have potentially lost by more. So that was why that's generally why I don't give the MVP in matches to the team that lost. Even when, like, we have the game that Leo had like fucking 89 kills and his team lost, you know, it's just that's my thought process on the MVP and it not going to a guy on the losing team. Because to me, it's like, it just doesn't really matter if you lost the game. It's a team sport, right? So wins and losses are the important stat. That's why, and that's also why I do the MVP and then list the other, like, whatever you want to call it, extremely valuable players, EVPs, like the CS tournaments do. In CS, it's usually pretty similar. There is occasionally, though, losing teams that get the MVP when one guy is just so much better than everybody else statistically. But in this case, he wasn't, like, severely out-fragging everybody else in the server. Like, Johnsky has 69, Luciano has 67, and then Kev has 69 as well. You know, so, like, in the event, I think in a game like this, or in a close game, you could see justification if one guy was like 20 kills above everybody else on the losing team. But in this case, it was really close. So that again, just to explain why it wasn't just an automatic, like, because Kev top fragged on the losing team. He was technically tied for the top frag, right? So you got to kind of give the tiebreaker in that case to the team that won. And if it's only a 2 frag lead, it's assuming Johnsky hadn't been also on 69. Luciano, I think, would have got it then too. Look at him. He had 38 and a half. They won by 22. Very close half. He had 38 kills and 18 flags. Like, he just dominated the well area. So yeah, just to explain, because that was a hot button issue after this game at the time. And then even I think it came up yesterday when I was streaming too. So I wanted to get down and dirty on the whole MVP and EVP thing. That's why there is the parentheses after the MVP, is to get the players who also had big games, just not the main one. And to be fair, a lot of the time, because it's, you know, the DOD is crazy. There's a respawn. There's so many lives. There's so many kills. There's so many deaths. There's so many swing points. Like, a lot of times the MVP is just going to the guy who top fragged on the winning team. Because it's really hard to pinpoint, like, hey, this guy had these 2 moments that completely changed the map, you know? When that does happen, usually, like, if I don't catch it, somebody in the chat is being like, hey, what about this guy? Even though he didn't top frag, he did these things that kind of, like, won them the game. And then it's like, yeah, that's a really good point. But a lot of time it's just the top fragger on the winning team, because so much happens in DOD. It's It's a lot harder to like nail down, hey, like in CS, there's a limited number of rounds, a limited number of kills per round, clutch situations that it like come out very clearly, and obviously infinitely more stats than we have in DoD. In DoD, we're just working with the score of the game, the flag caps, and the kill to death ratio. Maybe if we had more stats, if the game could break down like fucking round swing percentage and shit and RWS and all that, you know, like maybe the guy on the losing team was the most valuable player, but we don't have that, unfortunately. I try to look at it beyond just the frag totals, but a lot of times in these games, it just comes down to that. All right, so yes, 22-point win for Revo on the Axis side. Kev had 35, Raleigh had 29, he was next up behind him. 24 for both Raven and Hooli. Hooli was 24 and 17. Blue with 22, SQ with 21, and then on Revo's side, 38 and 24 for Luciano, and he had the most flag caps, which is insane as a well player. Like, I can't stress how crazy it is on this map where you have the long cap, right? Which is just fucking 1 second. It goes back and forth a lot. And you have the mid cap, which is a single flag. You don't often see a well player top flagging on this map. It's pretty rare, you know, like just generally speaking, the long guys or the guys going mid, the flags are getting traded back and forth so much more. But Luciano ends up with 18 and almost breaking 40 on the Axis side. Donsky, 31 and 36. This is actually Jizz. It was very ironic because somebody came into chat and was asking about Jizz and Jonty right before this game. And I was saying how Jizz hadn't played this season, and, you know, he's on a roster, but he hadn't really played this season. He's played a bunch in KTP, and then he was in the game, and the name was Budget Jizz, so I was confused because I thought it was somebody who was calling themselves Budget Jizz, but it's actually Jizzy. And he played really fucking well in his first game of the season, 29 and 29, you know, third to the top of the scoreboard there. 24 for Kum Kum, 23 and 18 for Eclipse, 19 for Birdie. And then second half, so that was a 22-point win, and it ends up being 95. So 73-point win in this half for Revo. The frags were still +1, like very close on the frag total. Again, it was just so fucking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Crazy fragging from all 12 players in this game at one time or another. I mean, just look at like the frag totals, man. It's nuts. It's nuts. Your bottom fragger on the Revo side is at 25. Like, that's rare. That's a very Lennon or Harrington kind of a game right there, obviously. So yeah, for Shift W, 38 for SQ, just a ridiculous half on the car. Again, he was trying to do everything humanly possible to get them back into the game. Kev at 34 and 37. Hooli also with a monster half at 33 and 21 on the sniper. He was all over the place, getting multi-kills. Raleigh at 28, Raven at 24, Andrew at 18, and then on the Revo side, Johnsky at 38 and 33, followed by Eclipse at 30 and 21. Again, Sniper putting in really good work on this map. 29 for Kum Kum and 25 for both Jizz and Birdie. Revo knock off the previously undefeated Shift W and overtake them as the top seed here. They have a game in hand, and they play each other again to finish out the season, because I love this game. So yeah, there they are. They play each other on Saints. That's going to pretty much decide the first seed. Like I said, there's a lot of potential chaos that could go on here, but if Revo win this game and go to 7-1, then that's it. Like, teams can't lose one of their losses, you know? So like 7-1 is going to be enough to take the first seed, for sure. Shift W could still end up with one loss. If they were to win this game and then win their game against Seoul, that would get them the 1 seed. As soon as we get teams with 2 losses, we could have 4 teams with 2 losses. And then it's the ring around the rosy tiebreaker scenario where, you know, good luck to everybody figuring that out. I'm sure it's a lot more simple than I'm making it seem, but to me, because we haven't had the games played yet, it becomes just so hard for me to break down all the different pieces that there are. But be on the lookout for those games. We do get one of them early. I think Seoul versus No-Go. I think they're playing their Lennon game this week. Right? I swear I saw that somewhere. Shift W Revo. Soul versus No-Go. Soul versus Shift W. Where the fuck? I swear I saw that they were playing this week. April 5th, yes. April 5th. No-Go versus Soul, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So they are playing. That's the one game that there is on Easter Sunday, so I'll be casting that for sure. It'll be a nice, easy day. But that game also, you know, like obviously if No-Go wins that game, that kind of takes the four-way tiebreaker out of the equation as well. That's a Lennon game. And then the following Sunday, they play each other again on Saints at 9. Soul plays Shift W at 5. The Shift W Revo game is at 4. That April 12th is going to be a barn burner, I think, of a Sunday to finish out the season. But yeah, that's the silver recap, right? I don't think there's another one. Yeah. So now we can push on forward to gold, where we have all 3 games here. So first things first, our game, G-Skill, 809 to 153 for Ass Raccoons. So just to go over the score stuff, 318 to 117. This is the second half. This is the first half. So, no, wait, that is the second. Really? I don't know why I thought we played Allies first. So 318 to 117, plus 5 in the kills here. Taylor, he said the STG felt good in the scrim before this. He was not wrong. Just playing ridiculous on the STG. 37 kills there. Andrew, who is the top player in gold this season, continues to be insane. 35 kills on the car. Milo with 23 on the STG. I had 22 carring long. I had high hopes for Carr and Long, and then Miles switched to a Tommy gun at one point. As you can see, ends up with 31 kills. After the time he was on the Tommy gun, I feel like I didn't get another kill again. It just consisted of me pushing up to bench, like clearing the angles, waiting for a fight, and then as soon as I thought I cleared all the angles, there's a Tommy gun swinging on me, and I'm dying. To the tune of him getting 31 kills. Like, I honestly think that after he switched to the Tommy gun, he went something like 25 and 10 or something. Like, I feel like I didn't kill him again for the rest of that half. And then Chuck with 18, Colin with 18. On the S Raccoon side, 31 for Miles, 28 for James, 26 for Leo and Cody, 23 for Drew, 14 for Darren. Darren said if I was going long, he was going to make sure I couldn't have fun, and they made sure I could not have fun. I'm pretty sure out of my 22 kills, like 20 of them were basically either me getting a nade kill or walling somebody through the doors into Spiral. Like, I think I walled Crawd like 3 or 4 times. I got Cody once or twice. Like, I wasn't killing anybody that I was actively seeing ever in this game. Just, there was no shot. But I know at one point Drew said, like, stop fucking walling me. And I literally have no idea how half the shots were hitting. I was just, like, pushing up to the flag and shooting at the wall, and there happened to be a guy there. So, yeah, that was 202 points after the first half. And then in the second half, obviously Milo and Taylor get bars then, and then everybody's life on G-Skill gets even easier, and everybody's life on the other team gets even harder because they're absolute machines. Taylor ends up with the MVP here with 75 kills. Milo at 41 on Allies. I mean, just look at how many fucking kills they have between. There's 80 kills between the two of them. After that, Andrew at 28, so he's still another game of 60. I think he's going to break 60 every game this season. Colin with 26. I had 23. Chuck at 16. And then on the Ass Raccoon side, they're missing 2 guys. Darren at a good half at 27 and 17. Drew with 22. Cody and Miles with 17. And yeah, G-Skill with the win, 7-0 now. One more week to play. Can G-Skill finish off the perfect regular season? I can tell you, even if we do, the job is not done there. So, there's been a lot of instances, I mean, not a lot, but plenty of instances in KTP where a team goes undefeated in the regular season and does not win. It's like the President's Trophy curse in the NHL. A lot of times you don't want to be that undefeated team because there's a little bit of a curse with it. You know, Thunder in Season 1, in gold, losing in the semis after going undefeated. Clinic in season 3, undefeated in silver, and then losing in the semifinals 2-1 in a best of 3. Icy Hot in season 6, going undefeated up until the finals and losing 2-0 to 3H. And I think that's it. I think those are all the undefeated teams that went on to not win the championship. So 3 instances of that. And I don't think... Is there more than one? There's 2, I think, fully undefeated. To be fair, though, the Goose Patrol one, they lost a map along the way. So, a little bit of an asterisk there. But Clinic in Season 1, undefeated in silver. Took it wire to wire. Didn't lose anything in the playoffs. And Goose Patrol, technically, when it comes to matches, undefeated. When it comes to maps, they had 1 map loss. I don't think we've had an undefeated gold champion. NSA was definitely undefeated. Yeah. So 3. There's 3 instances of both, actually. So it's kind of like an even playing field. If you go undefeated in the regular season, it's pretty much 50-50 in KTP history, whether you're going to end up winning or not. So just don't even listen to anything I just said. I made it sound like going undefeated, you're more likely to not win, but it turns out it's equal. Okay. Next up, I'll do that one last. We have Dice versus Clinic. Don't let the score fool you, man. This game was a fucking fun watch. It was very crazy back and forth with just movie clips all over the place. So Dice wins this one, 675 to 228. They did their LAN team normal classes this time around. So, Kevin on the sniper, Paul and Chris heavying, Alex and Matt rifling, Johnny on the third. Clinic had PB there, Debo there, Tom on the sniper, Garrett on a heavy, Scott on a rifle, and Vic on the heavy. So, plus 20, the kills for Dice on the Axis side. 99-point win. 38 for Paul. Him and Matt were basically just insane in this half. They had multiple times where it was 2 versus 4, 5, 6, whatever, the last 2 alive, and they just managed to hold the entire map as the last 2 alive. Paul was just everywhere, getting multi-kills all over the place. Matt had a vintage Die-Life Axis Lennon here. And then Alex, of course, still got his at 31. Kevin with 26. Chris with 21. Johnny with 21. And on the Clinic side, Debo and Justin were both rifle. So it was Alan and Vic heavying. And then Debo, Justin, and Scott on the rifles. 36 for Debo. He was all over the place as well, just fucking fragging out. Same with Justin, who was mainly going long. 33 kills for him. Going a route that I don't know if I've ever seen him go on Allied side. I mean, I'm sure he has. But I mean, in a match, usually he's a well guy because he's insane over there. But this time, went long, still got his. 28 for Vic, continuing to have a very strong season for Clinic. Garrett with 26, 20 for Scott, 11 for Tom, 99-point deficit for Clinic at the half. And then coming out in the second half, it ends up being 421 to 73. 421 to 73, plus 36 the kills in favor of Dice on the Allied side. So for Clinic, this time there was actually a switch that was it's a very random one. Debo ended up sniping here, which he did well on the sniper. He was getting a lot of value out of it. So it was a good switch in the end. It was just so random because I was like, oh, you're probably going to have you're going to have Scott and Debo, Carwell. You're going to have Justin rifle or Car long and Scott and Debo on well. But it ended up being Tom with an Unter. Scott and Justin went well with the cars, and then Debo sniped long. Garrett and Vic went apartments. 32 for Justin, of course. It's PB on well. He's gonna get fucking kills. 29 for Vic again there. 25 for Debo. 24 for Garrett. 23 for Tom, and 21 for Scott. And then on the Dice side, Johnny had basically nothing to do after all the rest of them got done. 42 for Chris, 37 for Matt, that was your MVP, 36 for Alex, he also had 67. Actually, Paul might have ended up with the MVP. I don't know, you guys can see when it fucking scrolls by. I forget who I ended up giving it to. I think I might have given it to Paul. because they both had 38. Paul ends up with 70. Actually, I don't remember, because Matt has 74 kills, so I feel like I might have given it to him, but I don't know. Alex also had 67 overall. There's a lot of guys with 60 kills. Kevin was 26 there. He almost got to 60 as the sniper, which is insane. Dice end up winning by 447. 447. Taking a look at the standings there. Dice at 4-2. There's a makeup game to be played. So Dice could definitely still find themselves with a first round bye. Let me pull it up. So Dice. They lost to Icy on Anzio. They play against Over. And they play against Over twice. Oh, yeah. So there's still a lot to decide for that 2 seed. That 2-game set between Dice and Over is going to dictate the 2 and the 3 seed here. Icy, Clinic, and Ass Raccoons, there is movement to be had. And in the gold division, matchup versus matchup is always a factor. Vetoes and everything like that, like it really gets broken down hard. So Icy plays Ass Raccoons. They can ensure that Ass Raccoons can't jump them there. And if they do that, then Clinic obviously can't jump them because they only have 1 game left to play. So Icy out with the win ensures that they finish at the 4. If they were to lose to Ass Raccoons, that would put them at 2 wins apiece. And then Clinic, if Clinic were to win as well, you'd have a 3-way tie at 2 wins. Clinic has the tiebreaker on Icy. Icy would have the tiebreaker maybe on Ass Raccoons? No. It would depend. If Ass Raccoons beat them, they'd have to beat them by more than 23. And then Ass Raccoons does have the tiebreaker on Clinic. So it would be another ring around the rosy scenario there. But yeah, to get into how we got to that point, you have ICF versus Over, and Over wins 457 to 206 here. I mean, Over on those 3 maps is just, you don't want to play them on those maps. Lennon, Harrington, and Anzio, especially those 3 maps. You kind of don't want to play them on any map, right? They're an insane team. But like those 3 maps in particular, they are incredibly fucking strong on. So first half, Axis side, 248 to 122, plus 18 in the kills. 31 for William. He was, again, just doing William things. He was all over the place, finding picks, doing everything he can to try to break out. 25 for Mitch on the bar. 22 for both Tox and Jesse. 19 for Sean. 17 for Ben. And then for Over, you had a trio with 27 there. Caffrey, CK getting in the mix again. CK is 2-0 this season. 27 for both Heavies and CK. 26 and 18 for No Name going long with the car. Always going to get his. 25 for Devin and 22 and 18 for Nightmare. And then second half, so that was, what did I say, 126. And then they end up winning by 251. So yeah, like 160-something point win in this half. So, kills were plus 12 in favor of Over. 33 for Sean, because again, it's Sean. He's going to get his going well on this map. It's actually interesting looking at the scores, because like there's a few guys who had really good halves for Icy out here, but Over still, won the half, certainly. Sean was 33 and 28. Jesse was 29 and 26. Jared was 28 and 19. 22 for William, 15 for Ben, 11 for Mitch. And then on the Over side, 31 for SZ, 26 for CK, 25 for No Name, 24 for Devin, and 22 and 14 for Nightmare, and 22 for Caffrey. Basically like one guy on each route for Icyot had a really good half here. Tox on long, Sean on well, Jesse in apartments. It's just for Over, they had they're just so evenly distributed in their performances every week. There's rarely anyone on Over who's like just running away with the top frag. Usually they're all within single digits of each other each half. It's just such a well-balanced attack with, equal amounts aggressive and passive all across the routes. It's just a really fucking well-constructed team, as you see this season. Only the one loss, which was to G-Skill on Rail Yard, which, that map is still kind of, the meta is not fully established. It's a weird one. But yeah, Over taking the win on Icy on Lennon to go to 5-1. As we said, they do still have 2 games left to play, both against Dice. Which maps are they on, though? One on Saints, obviously, and Armory. That Armory game, I think, is going to be nuts, too. That's kind of funny. They have to play the 2 bridge maps. But that 2-game set will pretty much decide everything. I guess Over, actually, all they have to do is win 1. As soon as they win one of those 2 games, they are the 2 seed. Dice has to sweep the 2 games. Then they would go to 6-2, and Over would go to 5-3. And then Dice would be the 2 seed. Over would be the 3. It would be Over versus again, this is kind of up in the air. Unclear how this will go. It could be any of those 3 teams based on how the games go. I mean, it's a tough draw here, man. Whoever ends up having to play the 3 seed, it's not going to be fun, because you either get Over or Dice there. And then, to be honest, even as the 1 seed, you end up with one of these teams in a best of 3, except the 2 seed. But we don't know the 2 seed is, so it could really be any of these teams in a best of 3 in the semifinals. In the semifinals? Yes, in the semifinals, because the top 2 seeds will go straight to the semis. So there's a lot to figure out here, man. Nothing is for sure yet, except that we have the 1 seed. And then nothing is for sure after that. That's really the only thing that's like fully clinched at this point as far as the tops of the divisions go. Because this one, I mean, like I said, there's 4 different teams that could end up the 1 seed here. Over here, it's going to come down to the Best Buds 9-5 game. And then in this area, we have a 2-game set to decide that. We have these teams playing against each other that'll figure out who ends up in the 4, 5, and 6. And then after those top 4 as well, you got 3 teams that have 2 wins right now. Obviously, Clan X and Manners Minders have a makeup game to play against each other. Emo Frag Squad plays against B Team. So B Team needing to get that win to still have a shot to end up with the 1 seed. Emo Frag Squad, I think they might not be able to move up, because I don't think they beat Clan X. Let me check. So, no. They don't have the tiebreaker on Manners Minders or Clan X. So I think Emo Frag Squad is locked into this spot, and No-Go is locked into this spot. Because if No-Go were to win both their games, they would have the tiebreaker on Soul, actually. That's it. They wouldn't have the tiebreaker on anyone else. They'd have the tiebreaker on Soul, who would still have 3 wins. So yeah, no. These 2 spots are locked in. There's movement that can be had here because they play each other. And then these top 4 teams, it's all still being figured out. And then in the Bronze Division, Best Buds at 9-5 play. Either team can end up there. It's a 44-point win or more that 9-5 need to get. Otherwise, it doesn't matter, and Best Buds takes it. Plays for Fun is locked in here. Bots and Uncle Rico play each other. It's going to be Plays for Fun versus Weak Kids for the last week of the season and the first round of playoffs. And it's going to be same thing for Bots versus Uncle Rico's Time Machine. We've seen that happen a few times now. It's actually not as rare as I once made it out to be. So, yeah. That's actually not as short of an episode as I was expecting it to be. I talked too much. It's fine. We got everything in that we wanted to get. And yeah, now we still have more to talk about next week, and it'll be another slightly shorter episode. So that's good. That's good. Yeah. Everybody have a good Friday today, I guess. Easter, if you're celebrating that sort of thing. You get the weekend off. Only 1 match being played this week, 9:30 on Sunday night. Soul versus No-Go will be there for that. And yeah, go watch the Candyman movie, man. If you haven't already, like, what are you even doing? What are you even doing, man?